because it helps me push the bar, break the bar, as we say. The aim is showing that people with disabilities are kind of the same as people with able bodies. We can compete, we can, do sports. We're all the same, but in our own unique ways, Any sport, it can be your sport if you put your mind to it. You fight hard enough for it, it's yours.
For us, para powerlifter, we have the world stage for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, all the world, they are like focused on you. Living with a disability, I am able, during 2 minutes, to have this, people around the world look at me, try to see what I'm gonna do. So this 2 minutes for me is something amazing, is something great. Being para-powerlifting forced people to treat me not because of my disability, but they treat me because of my ability. This is our goal, to be respected, to be accepted, to be treated not because of our disability, but because of our ability. And this is fantastic, this is amazing. That's why for me, para-powerlifting is, it's something very, very good, and I am happy to be para-powerlifter.
And you saw a bit of Cedric Roussel there, who will be seeing a lot more later today. It is the final day of individual finals at these World Paralympic Championships, but we do have the team event that continues tomorrow and what ultimately will be the last day. And as is very the case these days, it's the longest day, but this is the shortest, because we've got 2 events today, and as a result we'll be wrapped up. So in total, it is day 7 of the elite, day 8 overall of the 9 of the World Paralympic Championships, and these are the 2 finals. The men's 80 kilo decider, 3 groups in that, a field of 30 going to post, and then the 88 kilo final, 3 groups, 27 involved. So very good morning from Will Downing again, and Mary Hodge, the long-standing national team coach, is here as usual to look through who will be doing what today.
Good morning, everyone. Great to be here on day, I'm not sure what day it is, but day something, and it's just really great to be here.
So why in it anyway? Group C, the beginning, Ganel Safarian of Armenia will be lifting 90, and we go up to 145 for Kazakhstan.
Attention coaches, 1 minute remaining for changes to the first attempt. 1 minute remaining.
Good to see them here. And not just them, Slovakia, pair pressed, competitor of the week, Roman Machko. A little later on. Harry Kaupala from Finland, they've been here all week. He's in the 88 kilo final. He's their only competitor, and he and they make their bow on this final individual day, which is still Tuesday here. So yesterday, as usual, sending up some really dramatic, remarkable action, and we can only expect the same again here.
Attention coaches, no more changes to the first attempt.
Raul Mosin,
Welcome to the World Championships of Para-Powerlifting for 2023. This
Shadi
is the
Aisi as
men's
well.
up to 80 kilo category, Group
Really
C
impressive
session.
names.
Please welcome
At
the
the
athletes.
forefront in Group A, that'll
Representing
be in a couple of hours'
Armenia,
time. And a reminder, as usual,
Ginil
if you're watching live
Safaryan.
on Facebook or YouTube via the Paralympics or the World Paralifting pages, you have to refresh ahead of the Group
Representing
A. That will be
Afghanistan,
on a
Mohammed
separate
Fahim Rahimi.
Nel Safarian of Armenia will be the first to go. He will be
Representing
attempting 90.
Slovakia, Roman
Next, Mohammed Fahim
Matsko.
Rahimi of Afghanistan.
Representing
Next
Libya,
up, welcome aboard to
Abdulaziz
Slovakia and
El
Roman
Baba.
Matsko. For Libya,
Representing
Abdulaziz
Uganda, Mohammed
Al
Nigo.
Baybar. 135, he'll be looking for quite a few of these are major championship debutants. Biggest fields we ever get.
Representing Saudi
the World
Arabia,
Champions. Mohammed
Tarek
Nigo
Balgit.
of Uganda.
Representing Uganda, Safalu Tamale.
Tarek Balgit of Saudi Arabia.
And representing Australia, Paul Tesoriru.
Zafala Tamale of Uganda. Paul Tesoriero of Australia. He'll be coming for more. His Oceania record.
These
also
are
be
the
seeing
athletes in the
Shashlik
men's up to
Bukosa
80
of
kilo
Kazakhstan.
Group C session.
Doesn't appear that we are. Hopefully he's around somewhere. That's Group C in this 80 kilo final.
They head back, finish off their warm-ups, queue up in the room, move all their stuff to the other room, and then wait till it's their time to lift in less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Please direct your attention to the screens behind the stage as we choose our technical officials.
And now we
for
check
this
the
session.
referees for this Group C.
Please welcome the referees to the stage.
And here they are.
Chief referee, Thailand, Priyanuk Nukate.
So the chief referee, the centre
Left
referee,
referee,
Priyanuk
Finland,
Nukate from
Jari
Thailand. The
Laine.
left side referee, Jari Laine from Finland.
Right referee,
The right side
Republic
referee from
of
Korea, Lee Eugene.
Eugene Lee. Technical controller,
for this final from
Hungary,
Hungary
Tibor
is
Gergo.
Tibor Gergo.
Technical
And the
delegate,
technical delegate
Libya,
from Libya
Fatih
is
Leshab.
Fatih Leshab.
Spotter loaders, please take your positions on the field of play.
And there we are. And we are ready to go for this final imminently in the next number of seconds. So the penultimate final of the week before the manic team events tomorrow. Which always fills a schedule or two. Definitely fills the day. So we'll start off with 90 from Gnell
Men's up to 80 kilo
Safarian.
Group C session starts
Here we go.
in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Are you ready for powerlifting? The bar is loaded. We're starting with 90 kilos, rack height 19, and Armenia, Ginil Safarian.
So Ganel Safarian, first of all for Armenia. Nice sized team here for them. He's going for 90 early on here to get his World Championships campaign underway. He's 23. And as will be the case for a lot of this Group C, it is his major championship debut. It is his international debut. He has not been in an international competition before.
He lays down exactly where he needs to be, which is great. Getting strapped in by his coach. This is to ensure his legs, hips, everything don't move, remembering that in the rules, head, shoulders, buttocks, and legs need to remain still during the lifting proper.
So going to start off on 90. And that is a good lift. That's worked out really well for him. And that gets this combination off to a flyer. Good news.
120 kilos, rack height 13.
Great way to start the day. Really nicely done. He starts off with an attempt that he knows he can get. Typically, especially for a newer lifter, what the coach is looking to do is start that lifter out on something that he or she can get at least 3 times motionless on their chest in a gym. Straight down, held nice and motionless, straight back up, locked out. Great attempt.
That is a very nice start indeed. And now a man who we've not seen on the international scene this decade. It was 4 years since Mohamed Fahim Rahimi has been involved on the international stage. He was very busy in terms of the World Cup circuits. And the last time he competed was in the Bazaar World Cup, the famous event in Dubai every year, and he finished 10th in that. He does have a good resume of competition prior to that, but we've not seen anything from him for various reasons, of course, for 4 years. So he was 10th in that Dubai World Cup previously. The Asian Para Games last time out, he was 9th in Jakarta.
He's strapped in. He's actually going by the old rules, which are to take the thumb piece, stick it in the wrist wrap. That's no longer required.
Well, here he comes. And that for 120. And that would be a good lift. That's all very welcome for him. Good result. Well, maybe that might be down to the fact that he's not competed internationally for 4 years. I don't know. But still, if it works for you, it works for you. And it has done for him.
Nice and clean attempt, straight down. Holds it long on the chest to ensure nobody questions and drives straight up, locks it out. Nicely done.
Representing Slovakia, Roman Matsko.
So now, for Slovakia, it's Roman Matsko. He didn't register a mark in last year's European Championship. He's the only member of the Slovak team here this time. And it's great to have him here. They have also had Thomas Code as well. He was at the Europeans last year. Cohen is not competing here. Machko is. And that no mark, unfortunately for him, wasn't his major championship debut. So in terms of international competition, he's not registered a mark yet, but he can here.
1 minute.
So his world championship debut and hopefully his first competitive mark. So this is essentially for a lifetime best. For 125, and that is a good lift for Roman Machko.
That was outstanding. Straight down, nice and tight on the chest, long duration, straight up. No bounces, no bungles, just clean as could a whistle. Very nicely done. Locks it out here on the chest, straight up, locks it out. Nicely done.
It was all worth it then. And next up for Libya, it is Abdul Razik Al-Baibar. So he's going here for 135. Very busy on the international circuit, but not recently. 3 years since we saw him last when he was 5th in the World Cup in Abuja. And prior to that, 17th in the World Championships in the artist formerly known as Nur Sultan.
1 minute.
Al-Baibar of Libya. Oh, he's got a 2-1 in his favor.
Please, 135 kilos, rack 17.
And this was a nice job as well. He did get a red for a stop. So let's see here what that referee saw. Straight down, stops on his chest a little fast, so that could be why he got that red light. But either way, 2 whites and he's moving on. Nicely done.
So next up, 2 competitors for Uganda, almost back to back. The first of them is Mohamed Nijo. And it's always good to see new nations come through, as he has done the past couple of years. He was in Dubai for the World Cup last December and he finished 10th in it.
Getting his mental focus ready. As we know, half the game is mental. And now he's getting ready, hands on the bar, getting ready to go.
One minute.
$135, and that is a good lift as well. Well, we've not had a miss yet. That's very positive. Mohamed Nigo, the African Championship bronze medalist actually in 2018. That, the height of his career. This is a very positive start.
Let's take a look. Straight down, locked on the chest, straight up. The bar does shift a little to the right, probably why he got that one red for a press. Other than that, looked great. Again, 2 whites, he moves on. Good lift.
And move on we do as well. Tarek Balgith for Saudi Arabia. So his target is 137. Sixth in the World Cup in Dubai last December. Fourth in the Junior World Championships in 2019 in Astana. Previous to that, he was in the Asia Oceania Championships, the one in Kitakyushu in 2018, and now he did finish down the fields a little bit. He was 11th, but maybe for one of his first major events, that was quite satisfactory. There have been times when he has been very busy in the field, mainly appearing in the Fazar World Cup. He won bronze in the Asian Youth Games in 2017. He's been around. So Balkit, 137, and that too is a good lift.
Lowers, please, 140 kilos, rack height 15, 140, rack 15.
And just a really, really nice attempt. Straight down, locked on his chest, straight up, drive straight up. Really nicely done.
Thank you, the bar is loaded. Representing
Looked easy.
Safalu Tamale.
He's got every reason to be satisfied as we go back to Uganda. And it is Safalu Tamale who's going for a lift here of 140. So it is his major championship debut. And we did see him in Dubai at the World Cup in December across town in the Club for People of Determination. He finished 7th at that, which was not bad. His first two lifts he didn't get in. He got his last in, which was 130. But this is his major championship debut. One World Cup under his belt. So welcome aboard. 140 it is.
One minute.
So here we go. Well, now, whatever about it going down doesn't necessarily need to be in full control. And the rest of it was perfectly fine. So that is a good lift. It's 3 out of 3. Tamale is underway. We've not had a miss yet. And he's done really well with that. He didn't look the most confident with it on the way down, but you don't get marked down for that. The lift from beginning to end of the scoring was perfect. Tamale, 140 for Uganda.
Straight down, locked on the chest, straight up. A little faster on the chest, but a break in the motion. The break in motion is all that's required. And he's straight up and he makes it happen. Nicely done.
Paul Tesoriero for Australia now, going for 140. So he holds the Oceania record. Gold in Wollongong earlier this year in February in the Australian Championship.
And he's made sure to indicate to the referees his extension issues, so this way they're aware.
We last saw him internationally, actually, way back in 2018, where he finished 18th in the World Championships in Mexico City. Well, it was almost 2018. And the national team coach with him as usual, Simon Bergner. So, the Oceania record holder. That was 132 he did in his last championships. And he's starting at 140 here. So, 140. When you've got Simon Bergener coaching, you don't need a commentator. Tesoriero, good, 140. Perfect, perfect. And a perfect set of marks from this opening round. 140 for Tesoriero.
That really was absolutely perfect. Nicely done. Down to the chest, holds it tight, drives it straight up. Really nicely done. Consults with the coach what he's going to go up to for his next attempt. Great job. So well under control. Nice job.
That is a lovely start. Very nice result. It's actually his first international championship under this coaching setup. His previous championship was before Simon Bergener came on board. That is really welcome. It's a terrific start. So we do not have Jacques Bekoja. He has been disqualified, so I imagine he didn't make weigh-in in time. So we don't get to see him this time. Nel Safarian coming now for Armenia.
And if it was a body weight issue, there's just no reason for that. Athletes know where they're supposed to be. They should be monitoring their weight, and most coaches will be very displeased by that because there's just no reason for that.
So he scored well with 90 in the opening round in his international debut, and here is his second try.
And you'll see the athletes are very, very specific how they like the straps, specifically the top strap. They want it in a very specific spot and with a very specific intensity as to the tightness. And there's so many reasons for it. The top being many athletes, if they have the ability to resist against that strap, that really helps them hyperextend so they can get that bar off their chest.
That strapping there just reminded me of getting shoelaces tangled. Safarian 95. And that is a good lift. 3 lifts out of 3 from Safarian, and that has worked very, very well.
Once he got strapped in, he made fast work of it. Out of the blocks, holds it straight, brings it down, motionless on the chest, drives it back up. Well done. And just drives, nicely done.
Thank you. The bar is loaded. Representing Afghanistan, Mohammed Fahim Rahimi.
So the return of Mohammed Fahim Rahimi has been very successful internationally in his own right as well, irrespective of the fact that it's been a few years since we last saw him. Because he too is a continental medalist. Going back in time a little bit now, he does have quite a few Paralympic Games under his belt. Beijing, particularly. Didn't register a mark there. 12th in London. Also saw him at the European Open Championships in 2015, which would have been in Egger. So coming here at 130, Rahimi. And that is a good lift as well. He's lounging in that. Only the middle referee voting him down. That was for the stop sequence, but that is academic now. 2 in his favour, and he moves on. What a good start to this morning.
Yeah, and we'll see when we see the replay. You see that double bounce on his chest. He's very fortunate that only the center referee caught that, but he does get 2 whites and he does move on.
So on we go, and the return of Slovakia for Roman Mačka. So he's going for 135, and again in his lifetime best territory. Coaching team are having a good look at him. He's waited all week to get his competition going. Slovakia, and actually Finland as well, who are competing later today, have been here pretty much all week, even though they weren't going to be involved until the final day, so no frenetic last-minute dash for them. They've acclimatized to Dubai.
1 minute.
If you can. 135, match go.
Good.
That's a good lift as well. Mačka, 135. Well, he is absolutely flying right now for Slovakia. And tell you what, everybody now has had a lift in. He's one of a growing army with 2 lifts in. He's going to do well on the total lift, maybe.
Just superb, straight down, holds it motionless on the chest, not too long, not too short, drives it straight up, locks it out. That was a textbook perfect lift. Nicely done.
Representing Libya, Abdul-Razik Al-Baba.
Abdul-Razik Al-Baba coming now for Libya. The African Championship bronze medalist in 2018, and with 2 World Championships to his name. And we last saw him at a Worlds in 2019, so this is his 5th. He used to be a regular.
And he's gotten his mental focus, standing at the end of the bench, preparing. Now he's on the bench, really thinking about what he's going to do, getting his hyperextension together so his chest is as high as possible. The further the chest up, the less distance we have to move the bar.
He's qualified for 1 Paralympics, London 2012, and he finished 12th at the Paralympics in London. 138 is target there.
Good.
Oh, that's a good lift too. Oh, he's progressing really well. We didn't see him actually. Get the flags out, get the scarves out. We didn't see him at the African Championships actually late last year, which was a pity, especially as he's performing really well here. Albert Eba of Libya, 138.
Beautiful. Really beautifully done. Tight on the chest, drives it straight up, locks it out. Nicely done.
There's been a lot of work to get a whole load of additional African nations here. I know there is a London-based gentleman who's been trying to organise 3 or 4 different nations and raise the standards and bring them to international standards in World Powerlifting. So Uganda stepping up now. 139, Mohamed Nigo. Adding 4 to the mark.
And he's getting strapped in. While he's getting strapped in, he's preparing mentally. Same methodical where he puts his hands, what he does.
1 minute.
$139. Going to third place here, and we won't mention it until the result comes in. Which is a good lift. Everybody's been successful so far, so a lot have got a great chance in terms of the total lift. There was no point mentioning that beforehand, because then he would have been guaranteed to get a no lift. So there you go. That one's on us. Good lift, Mohamed Nigo, and 139, and he leads on the total lift now, 274.
Straight down, locks it out, a little fast on the chest, but a big enough break, and drives it up and locks it out. Nicely done. From the man from Uganda, nice job. And he salutes.
Thank you. Representing Uganda, second round of 10, Safalu Tamale.
So you know the thing about when you've got athletes lifting back to back, that somewhere in the background you've got a coach who is frantically racing around behind the scenes. Here's Safalu Tamale. He's here in his own, 141. Well, he knows what he's doing. Here we go. Right on cue, sir.
Timing is everything.
Unfortunately, some of the other lifters decided to go higher, so it is Uganda. It happens. Here is Tamale, 141. He's only gone up one. That's why they're lifting back to back.
Good lift, Tamale, 141.
Well, that's a good lift by Tamale, 141.
So what happened there with the coach is the coach has to enter the attempt from his first athlete, go around, run around from the back, and come back out to then help this gentleman. And so we saw he got close to the minute mark, but he got out in time, straps him down, and boy does he execute. Straight down, nice and tight on the chest, and straight back up. A little crooked, but he locks out together. So you can come up crooked, you just have to not stop one arm to catch up. He did not. He caught up, he locked out together.
And as Tariq Balgid is coming out for Saudi Arabia, going for 145. Unfortunately, they'll start the clock. There's no sympathy, there's no charity around these parts. Well done, that worked well. So Mohamed Nigo and Safalu Tamale both have got their lifts in, and now Tariq Balgid are looking to do the same.
Let's just say that coach got a little cardio this morning running from point to point. So this gentleman gets strapped in, tightening those wrist wraps to make sure his wrists are in great control.
1 minute.
And you see he's adjusting that left wrist wrap. He had it up on the palm. You cannot have the wrist wrap on the palm. That's going to be a red light. So he undid it and brought it down closer to his wrist. Very good decision.
So Tariq Balgeth for Saudi Arabia, the former Asian Youth Games bronze medalist, so he is quality. And he's looking to show that here. First miss, I'm afraid. First miss, 2-1 against. Well, it had to happen eventually. Unfortunately, the target this happened here. Doesn't get it, misses out, 145. It's not necessarily costly, it does affect him in terms of the total lift, of course. But if he keeps on his path, they may be going for about 150 in the next round.
Representing Australia,
So we won't see the replay, but he got dinged on the stop, which means he didn't stop long enough, and then the press sequence. So somewhere along the line, when he went up straight, he probably didn't lock out evenly.
Paul Tesoriero for Australia, going for 140. And this for 145 to take the lead for Australia. Yeah, I mean, it was quite something about the coach for Uganda having to rush around the back and look after back-to-back athletes just like that. I'm sure there are a few coaches around who can really sympathize with that, who've been in that situation before. And some who might have even had to change their top while doing it. Paul Tesoriero, 145. That, by the way, was a gargantuan job. So, well done on that.
And he's getting strapped in. One of the interesting things about athletes with cerebral palsy in this sport, they are the only athletes that are allowed to use a wedge. So he could actually put a wedge under his knees if required. Obviously, he doesn't require it. His legs can be flat enough.
So here he comes. His big punch through at 145. There you go, good lift, 2-1. This is working very well. Well, Tesoriero leads on 145. And gotta say as well, not just for him, but for a lot in this group, get the next lift in. They're gonna finish high in the total lift. We've seen that all week. It's going very well.
That was really, really great. On the press sequence, if you look where he stops, and then he just bobbles it a little on the chest, so on the way up, he's a slight bit uneven on the one side, and that's probably where he got that red light. But all in all, 2 white lights, great attempt.
So we go on, Gnel Safarian. 97 he's wrapping up with. He has had a brilliant international debut. He's looking to wrap it up with 97, and the situation he's in, he's going for about 75% of the weights, the heaviest weight that Tesoriero and Tamale have been going for. So if he gets this in, his total lift will be 282, and Tesoriero's total weight is already 285. That's just the mathematics of it all.
Strapped in, ready to go for his 3rd attempt.
1 minute.
Safarian, 97. Good lift, 3 out of 3. That's good going. So he's got everything in, and that's all perfect. Superb.
That was really excellent. I mean, just really excellent. Totally clean, perfect lift. Brings it down, tight on the chest, drives it straight up, locks it out. You couldn't ask for better. nicely done. And on the third attempt, amazing to be so accurate. That was really great. Nicely done.
Thank you. The bar is loaded. Representing Afghanistan, third round attempt, Mohammed Fahim Rahimi.
Mohammed Fahim Rahimi of Afghanistan. Wrapping up a rare World Championship appearance. And he's got all of his marks in so far, so at the moment the total lift, Tesoriero leads that for Australia. But Rahimi can take a significant lead in that, as basically everybody can from here on in, apart from Tarek Balgit. So 9th in Jakarta at the last Asian Para Games. A couple of Para Games he's done. This is actually his first World Championships. So it was a very rare appearance. Now, can he take the lead in the total lift? He certainly can. 2-1 in his favour, 140, and his total lift is 390, which is significant. That basically means that he should finish above most in Group A, who only get 2 lifts in. Now, it depends, because we're seeing weights of above 200 in that, but he'll be high.
Really nicely done, just straight up. A little bit of fatigue there on that left side, but really nice, locks out evenly.
Now, once upon a time, Slovakia had a large amount of powerlifters. They had actual European champions as well. Anna Orosova, in particular in the early European Championships, Maria Bartosova. Jan Mihal was regularly at Paralympic Games. They had a really large team. It was actually quite interesting speaking to one of the referees lately. He was going through his photo albums of ancient championships. Like, Norway used to have big teams in this. Sweden at the first championships here. So Roman Machko, hopefully the start of a big comeback for Slovakia. And for him, a chance to take the lead in terms of the total lift. 141 this is. He'd go beyond 400. Has to get this first. 6 kilos added on from last time. And he's got that punched through well. We're going to go to the flags. Here we go. Two white flags. You saw one of them. But the other one, who's from Jari Laine, has sent him through. That is a total lift of 401. The results have come up now. The right side referee voted him down for the stop sequence, but 141 is good. All 3 lifts are good, and he with a total lift of 401.
And you see he double bounces a little bit there. Actually, forgive me, not double bounces, he heaves. So he touches the chest and heaves back, and that's why he got that red light. But he got 2 whites, and he moves. Got 3 perfect lifts.
So next up, it is Mohamed Nigo of Uganda. He's going for 142. 142 for Nigo.
Let's just see what that press out looked like. Did he lock out evenly?
The flags will speak. There you go, 2-1 in his favor. Good news. How good. So Nigo gets all of his results in, all of his lifts in. 416 is his total lift. And he now leads in the total lift by a nice amount. It's always worth now to get your lifts in because there's the potential of medals that was not there before. There is for him now.
And he really drives that left side up because it was lagging behind and evenly locks out. Nicely done. Little fast on the chest, that's probably what the red was. Great work.
Abdulaziz Alba Abba of Libya. Well, he has had a superb championship as well. See, that scarf reminds me of Slade. That's one for the teenagers. 143 this is, and this will send him well above 400. And he will get all of his lifts in.
He's ready.
$143 for Alba Abba.
Good lift.
That is a good lift. Hey, celebration time. Brilliant. He's got all of his lifts in. He now leads in terms of the double lift. And what a very happy gentleman that is.
Really well done. Just nice and tight. Every aspect of that lift, he was just not going to be denied. Brings it down, nice and tight on the chest. Here he comes, straight up, driving it and locking it out. Nicely done. Great job.
They have achieved everything they wanted to. They too are on 416 in the total lift. Nigo got there first. So they currently are in second place on 416. And if this is successful from Safalo Tamale, he takes the lead in the total lift by a margin. 425, he'd lead by 9. Not sure how much the total lift has affected people's thinking in terms of what they go for in groups such as B or C at this stage. It must be in the mind now. Just get the lifts in and you never know what. Might take us a couple of extra championships just to work out. But all but one so far. Perfect. 144, Tamale for Uganda. So Tamale, 144, and he's got it. And he might have treated that a little bit tentatively, but he's a lot to be praiseful for, and a lot for us to be praiseworthy of him. He's got all 3 lifts in. He peaks at 144, and he now takes the lead in the total lift, 425.
That was just great. He just fought that through. Definitely looked a little heavy for him, but he just kept working and working to lock that up. And you see off the chest, he's driving. He almost wants to stop. He keeps moving and locks it out. Really nicely done.
Tarek Balgift now, so he's missed out unfortunately at 145, so he's been wiped out in terms of the total lift. but he can still leave Group C leading potentially if he gets this, and if there are no other successful lifts in this round. 146 is target. Former Asian Youth Games bronze medalist, 2017 that is. You've obviously got that. You've got the West Asian Games as well. I know there's been a South Asian Games in the past. Oh, hey, the Southeast Asian Games you know all about.
I will say with the innovation of the total lift medals, it really gives the Group C athletes something to work super hard for. Also, every athlete almost starts in Group C or D, and over time, as they work hard, they work their way up, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, apparently a whole load of results had been studied for a few years, and people then started noticing there was great consistency in the lifting, so a little down the field, and that you'd have athletes in Group B and C with a total lift that was greater of a lot of those in Group A. So that's the point of it. Oh, he's not going to complete that, I'm afraid. So he misses out on 146 Balgith, which is for him a pity. But he did come through on 137, and that is where he finishes.
And great on the spotters and loaders to be there quickly to catch it so no one gets injured. He just fell a little short. That is a very common error on the third attempt, just before or at the halfway mark. You get on the chest and you go to drive it up and you just run out of gas, steam, energy, whatever you want to call it. Noble try though. Here he is and just can't do it. He actually starts moving his right shoulder, so good that they took it from him.
Representing Australia, Paul Tesoriero.
So Paul Tesoriero for Australia, chance to wrap up in 147. And among his top sporting achievements, of which this may well be one, he's got a great chance here of finishing very high in the total lift. He's a regular cricketer as well with STC South Camberwell. He's in the Eastern Cricket Association League. He bats one-handed. Does a spot of bowling as well. That's quite something. That's in an able-bodied league, by the way. No, not para-cricket or anything like that. Something in its own right.
Takes his time to get himself prepared on the side of the bench. Then he makes sure, if you see he's measuring, where is his nose, eyes in relation to the bar. That green tag is a really great marker for most athletes to use. You'll see many athletes that can hyperextend and touch their nose to that green tag to be sure they're right where they want to be.
So 147 for Tesoriero. Oh, that is no lift. It's the press sequence, all three against. Now, so that is a big pity for him. He does lead going into Group B. However, missing that means he doesn't get a big total lift score in. Paul Tesoriero gets 140, gets 145. He does not get 147. That is a big pity. He would have led the total lift for a long time.
Let's see here, down on the chest, great work. Straight up, straight up, locks out. And I'm pretty sure the bar swayed to the back. He also moved his shoulders off the bench. You cannot have any shoulder interaction helping you move that bar.
All you had to do was just look at his coach, Simon Bergner, and when I say you don't need a commentator when he's around, that's it. Mind you, he has done a bit of it. It's not a bad job at the end of the day. That was Group C. Group B is coming in 20 minutes. We'll be back.
Attention coaches, 1 minute remaining for changes to the first attempt. 1 minute.
So Thomas Sadler will have the heaviest attempt in Group B, going up to 168 for Hungary. Going to Group B of this men's 80 kilo final. A reminder of the various records. So leading the total lift going into Group B, it is Safali Tamale of 425.
Attention coaches, no more changes to the first attempt. No more changes. Welcome to the 2023 World Parapowerlifting
So now the
Championships
presentation
in
of
Dubai.
athletes.
This is the men's
For
up
Group
to 80
B.
kilo category Group B session. Please welcome the athletes. Representing Kyrgyzstan, Maksat Abjambayev.
So we start off with Kyrgyzstan from Maksat Argambayev.
Representing France,
For France, Julien Avon Mboume.
Bissamate.
He'll be coming up shortly. Argambayev 150. Avon Mboume
Representing Turkmenistan,
will be going for
Bayram
155.
Saparov.
For Turkmenistan, it will be Bayram Saparov of
Representing
Turkmenistan.
Mexico, Porfirio Arredondo Luna.
For Mexico, Porfirio
Representing
Arredondo
Japan, Hideki
going for
Odo.
155. Now he's in the Legends competition, and Saparov is as well. And so is, for Japan, Hideki Odo
Representing
will be
India,
going for 160.
Sandesha Bapunji Gitogode.
Next up for India, Sandesha Bapunji Gidagauda.
Representing Mexico, Martin
Going for 162.
Perez Sandoval.
At the moment, that's what they're going for. For Mexico, Martin Perez.
Representing Chile, Jonathan Astudio Rosas.
For Chile, Jonathan Astudillo.
And representing Hungary, Tamás Stadler.
And for Hungary, to wrap up the group of 9, Thomas Stadler. At the moment, he's going for the heaviest attempt. We'll see what they
These are the athletes
do
in the
come out
men's
and
up
do.
to 80 kilo Group B session.
subsequently.
So they head back. The coaches look at the openers to ensure it's exactly what's needed. At this point, they can't change them anymore. They grab their gear, they go into the next room, and they prepare and they wait to come out to open their opener here in less than 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Please direct your attention to the screens behind
So
the
Group
stage
B
as we
on the
select our
way.
Technical officials for the field of play.
And the draw for the referees for this group will be forthcoming. And here they are.
Please welcome the referees to the stage. Chief referee, Yemen, Mohammed El Kersh.
So the chief referee, the center referee from Yemen is Mohammed Al
Left
Kirsch.
referee,
Left
Greece,
side referee from Greece,
Ilyana
Ilyana Araka.
Right referee,
Right side
Malaysia.
referee from
Commander
Malaysia,
Kadir
Kadir Kamaruzama.
Technical controller,
And the technical
Hungary,
controller for this final
Tibor
is Tibor
Gyarko.
Gyarko from Hungary. Technical delegate from Libya is Fatih
Fatih
Lashahab.
Spotter loaders, please take your
So all ready for
positions on
Group
the
B,
field
which
of
will be
play.
with us in about a minute. and it's coming soon.
Yeah. I only got one question. So is that all you got? You go big or stronger? You push harder? Is that all you got? Yeah. I only got one question. So is that all you got? You go big or stronger? You push harder? Is that all you got? You climb higher, faster. So is that all you got? You put your best in the West End, no question. Is that all you got? So you a victor. I only got one question. So is that all you got? Yeah, look at you now. So is that all you got? Take a look at you now. So is that all you got? Look at you now. Is that all you got? Yeah, I only got one question. So is that all you got?
So here we go, it is Group D, and we will start off with Maksat Argambayev of Kyrgyzstan, who's going for 150. Hey, he's ready. He's definitely ready. He's been around a lot the past few years. Now, we last saw him in the Dubai World Cup in 2021. He finished 8th in that. Finished 4th in the Tbilisi World Cup earlier that year. So he's been busy in terms of the international circuit. He's been trying to edge his way up. So the total lift, just in terms of that from what we saw previously, 425 is the lead in that. Then second on 416 is Mohamed Ni Go. And third on 416 is Abdul Rasik Alba Eba. He finished 17th in his last World Championships in 2019, and he's ready to go here. That was in the 80 kilo final, and he's still at this weight. 150 then for Argambayev. That's a good lift. Did well.
Really great way to start flight B off. That was really nicely done. Brings it down, tight on the chest, drives it up seamlessly. Really, really nice. He did get one red, and that was on the stop. It seemed okay, but could have looked a little fast to the referee.
So as we go on, and this is Julien Avon Mboume for France, and there hasn't been a malfunction. He's requested no music as he comes out. Well, he has an impressive amount of experience down through the years. He's going here for 151. There's not many who have requested no music, but it's a request that they are happy to accede to. Now, I haven't seen him for a good few years, actually, on the international stage. Last was the Manchester World Cup right at the start of 2020, before things happened. And that's a good lift. 3 white lights. Avon Mboume, 151.
That was absolutely perfect. Straight down, locked out on the chest, straight up. Sometimes the music really can be distracting, particularly for the athletes. So good decision on him, and just drives it straight up, locks it out. Nicely done. Way to get this party started.
Yeah. More of a silent disco, that one, though. There are a lot of athletes who enjoy the music. Porfirio Arredondo from Mexico. He is in the Legends category. Most recently, 4th in the Veracruz World Cup in June. former Americas, Pan Am, and world champion. This is his 9th World Championship. 6 Paralympic Games to his name, world champion in 2006 in Busan. 155, he's still got it. He has still got it. Lovely lift at 155, and he leads.
Making it look easy. Straight down, tight on his chest, straight up. No questions, no concerns. Getting this party started. Beautiful, just beautiful.
The bar is loaded, representing Hungary, Tamás Stadler.
So Tamás Stadler was originally due to give the heaviest lift in this round, but instead he is packed right in the middle of the field. 15th in the last World Championships in Tbilisi 2 years ago. This is second World Championships then. 7th in the Europeans in 2018. He did not compete in Tbilisi last year.
So he gets strapped with his knees up, and that is allowed based on classification. This just means that he cannot extend his legs, or if they do, they may come off the bench, and so it is much more controlled for him to strap this way.
So Tamás Stadler in for a second appearance at a World Championship. Here he comes. That is a good lift, 160 for Stadler, and he is progressing well for Hungary. There was a while when they always felt as if they were the capital of European powerlifting, that loads of events in Eger, and they were having the upcoming, was going to be an upcoming World Championships 2 years ago, but it went to Tbilisi.
So you see how the bar sinks a tiny bit in his chest. That's why he got the red light on the left side. Other than that, the attempt was executed perfectly. Nicely done.
Bayram Geldi Saparov of Turkmenistan. His third World Championship, and he finished 8th in the European Open Championships in Tbilisi last year. And he is in the legend category as well. Him, Arredondo, and Odo in this Group B. Actually, Alba Bar and Li Go in the previous Group C. And Patlameke coming up in Group A, so lots of legends in it. 160, Saparov. Yes! 3 white lights for Saparov for Turkmenistan. That was a very good lift.
Absolutely perfect. Brings it down, tight on the chest, drives it up. No questions or concerns in the end. Just a really beautiful lift. Perfect.
So next up, Hideki Odo from Japan. He's coming in looking for 160. You see his lifetime best there is 170. And another man who's Well, he's in the legends category, obviously, but a man of tremendous experience as he comes in looking for 160. This was the sound of very many world championships in the past, though. He's won 2 national titles in Japan. So, in terms of the race to Hangzhou, the Asian Para Games, he's there or thereabouts. In terms of last year in Pyeongtaek, 4th spot, just edged out by Kim Gyu-ho. In terms of the medals, he was close to it. He was very close to it, Odo. He would have needed a humongous lifetime best in order to have got into the medals there that time in Pyeongtaek. Odo has been Asian Open and Asian Games bronze medalist, the 2 editions of same in 2018, his 7th World Championship, the man from Nagoya.
And he's getting himself set. The clock is running down, 15 seconds.
He had 3 seconds left when that lift began. He's really leaving it tight. That is a good lift. Odo gets it. 160, and he did well.
That he did. And it's possible that he practices that clock going down to that time frame. He used a lot of time, but he was within what he needed. Nicely done. Down on the chest, quick, but still, and straight up.
So now, for India, from Bangalore, with the coach Jitender Pal Singh, Bapunji Gidagauda Sandesha. I know we keep saying it every time they have an entrant, but what a tremendous team they've brought here, and it is another big-time debutant. His championship debut, he's not been in World Cups before. And there are a couple of things they would like said if the lifts are successful. I think that's more in the ballpark of one of our stadium announcers more than anything else, but we'll see how he does. 162. Sandesha Bapunji Gidagauda. .162 for Bapunji Gidagauda, and that unfortunately is against him on the press sequence, and it's all 3 who have voted him down as well.
Yeah, and if we're able to see the replay, once he comes off the chest, you see about halfway up, he does what we call a ladder, back and forth, right, left, all the way up. He does lock out evenly, but unfortunately, the bar has to drive directly straight up. It cannot go up, down, back, forth. So here it is, and there he goes, and you see right, left. Nice try, he just needs to clean that up.
So next up, Jonathan Astudillo for Chile, who finished 6th in the Veracruz World Cup a couple of months ago. He's had a very good, large selection of competitors from the Americas at it, including Chile. the forefront of it for a little bit. He got his first lift in. He's close to the medals at that stage and wasn't successful in getting a lift in after that. Fourth he was in the Americas Championships last year. His coach, by the way, who is on stage with him, Jean-André Echeverria. And Estudio has been a national medalist, Chilean silver. Well, he's pushing up at 165, so this is way above what he did in Veracruz successfully. And he has done this successfully. 165 for Astudillo. That is a very good result for him.
166 kilos.
That was absolutely perfect, just perfect.
Thank you, the bar is loaded.
Brings it down, nice and tight on the chest, drives it straight up. Well done, nice work.
On we go. Martin Perez of Mexico. Well, he won bronze in Veracruz in that 80-kilo final. The America's bronze medalist in St. Louis last year. $166 he lifted in Veracruz. That was in the first round. He didn't lift successfully after that, so he's starting here again on 166. So Perez 166. That's a good lift. That's 2-1. Oh yes, that's it. That's the foundation set. That's him delighted. That's precisely what he was looking for, and he has got it. And jubilation as a result.
161, rack 13.
Really great job. The middle referee gave him a red on press and stop, so let's see. Stop and press. So the right side does kind of is jagged when he goes up and down, so that definitely would be the press. Unsure where the stop is. Either way, he got 2 whites and he moves on.
So Agambayev coming now again for Kyrgyzstan. What is his 3rd World Championships? And this is Elite 11 he's adding on to it. Now what we had in Group C, a whole load of competitors getting all 3 lifts in. A word in a moment, if there's time, about one who didn't quite manage that. And what that means is that quite a few from Group C who are going to be very competitive in terms of the total lift and should be finishing quite high, but whether they'll be in the top 3 is another story. Oh, 2-1 against differing reasons as well, which is from the left side referee. Saw issues with the stop sequence, the center referee with the press. And even though 2 of the referees thought the stop sequence was fine and 2 thought the press was fine, Wasn't the same referee to and against?
We see he dips down to the right, and on his chest, the bar bends right to left. So those are the infractions that give him the reds. So now he's just got to come back and either stay there or go up a little bit and get the attempt cleanly on his chest.
So Julien Avanambume coming now in what is his third world championship. His previous one was actually 4 years ago, finished 13th in that. He is a European bronze medalist though, that was in 2018. He has perennially been a high finisher when it comes to the European Championships. Apologies if it sounds like we're alongside the 18th green, because there's no music here. Got to make sure he can't hear us while he's doing this. He has got that European bronze. The Parisian. His dad, by the way, Anthony, an Olympic wrestler in 1996 for Cameroon, as it turns out. That is a fine lift, 161. A leap of 10 as well. He could do very well in the total lift.
Brings it down, nice and tight, and straight up. Really nicely done. And that is a tremendous leap. It will be very interesting to see how big he jumps now on his third attempt.
India, Sandesha Bapunji Kidagowda missed 162 in the first round. He was the only one not to get their lift in. He's staying at 162 here to get the mark. It has wiped them out, unfortunately, in terms of the total lift, but they'll still try and get their marks.
One minute.
162. Well, certainly his supporters in the crowd like that. But the referees didn't. 3 against, he does not get it.
Yes, and when we watch the replay, you'll see it's quite evident on the press. He double bounces and sways on the chest. Let's see if we can get this replay and take a second look at it.
Well, he misses out. 2 goes at 162. And he is looking for a second opinion from the side.
Double bounce and twist. And then he locks out unevenly. He'll come back and get that, we hope.
Arredondo, the former world champion for Mexico. Big debut at the 1996 Paralympic Games in Atlanta. A man of immense experience, it goes without saying. But in saying that, Pan Am champion 2011, America's champion as recently as 2018. He's won medals at the last 3 Pan Am Games, where it's only the top 6 who definitely qualify, and then 4 invitees. It depends on national representation too, as is the case with all games. And there you go, he gets it. 162. And, well, he's there. 317 in the total lift as well, which is the best in Group B today.
Great lift from 27 years of lifting. Amazing that his body is in such great shape, because this is a tough sport on the shoulders and the elbows. That's incredible, but really nice attempt. 2 whites, One red on the side. We see tight and straight. The one referee thought he went a little too fast in the chest. Either way, he gets 2 whites and he moves on. Nicely done.
Thank you. The bar is loaded. Representing Turkmenistan, Bayram Saparov.
For Turkmenistan, it's Bayram Saparov. Well, if this group goes well, he might just have his first top 10 finish at a World Championship. He's not qualified for a Paralympic Games previously. The man from Balka-Bat has generally been coached by Azat Gorganov. There he is in terms of the race to Hangzhou. That's a tentative position if ever there was one. But he can leap up a place to 10th if he gets it. They haven't tended to have the largest fields. The fact that he's got a number against his name suggests that he is currently inside the cutoff point. He's ready to roll. Saparov, 165. And that is a good lift. That is 3 white lights from Saparov. He gets 2 successful lifts out of 2. He goes up to 325 as well in the total lift. So he is competitive from that point of view, and he is in the Legends competition as well.
Excellent. Straight down, nice and tight on the chest. Straight up and locked out. Really well done.
So, it is Hideki Odo of Japan, 4th in the last Asia Oceania Championships last year in Pyeongtaek, but bronze in 2018 on home soil in Kitakyushu, Japan's first ever championship medal in Paralifting, and then he went to Jakarta and did it again at the Asian Para Games. He's had a bit of a wait since then. Leap of 10 kilos. He will obviously feel it is very, very manageable for him. Based in Nagoya, his 7th World Championship this is as well. He's certainly been on the scene for a while.
That's a pretty big leap between 1 and 2. He can do it, but it is big.
1 minute.
He's left himself a decent amount of time. You remember last time he only had a few seconds left before he did the final lift. He suffered a shoulder injury right in the middle of competition at the 2016 Paralympic Games, where he finished in 8th place. Takeyoshi Okamoto has been his coach for a good few years. We don't actually have the same opportunities we usually do, just to nip in and see who's on stage with them. It's a larger venue than usual, so it just takes a bit too much time. So credit to the people who've helped him for years in the past, even if they're not necessarily on stage. As we always say, the coach that's mentioned, we tend to mention the day-by-day coach, not necessarily the one that's on stage with them. He's left it to 3 seconds again. That's obviously his favorite method.
No lift.
That is
stop sequence.
no lift this time for Odo. It is the stop sequence, and all 3 referees voted him down on it with the coach Chio. He just didn't quite get that. The experts in the crowd have their own opinions on that. They might actually well agree with that. Oh well.
It actually looked like he moved his head as well as not stopping properly. So that was just tough on the chest for him. He's really got to go back, really collect himself, think about it, and just be nice and tight when he brings that bar down to the chest. Here it is, really fast and a bounce on the chest.
Well, whatever about head movement, that wasn't penalised. There was the stop sequence only, and all three referees didn't like it. Next up for Hungary, Thomas Stadler going for 171. And this would be the heaviest lift to date. There are three going for 171 in this. Now we're beginning to see some misses as well. There are still the three to lift in this round who can get 2 lifts through, and 3 who've already done it. Agambayev, Odo, and Bapunji Giragauda have missed out. Stadler's best championship finish, Europeans in Beximir in 2018 when he came home in 6th spot.
1 minute.
$171 for Stadler. Well, the national team coach Peter Farago has his opinion on that, and it has been repeated. Press sequence from 2, stop sequence on the right side referee, and he does not get it. It's 3-0 against, and that's a philosophical chuckle from Thomas Stadler. I'm not terribly confident he'll be greeted with the same, but they'll have a chat about it.
Yeah, that's a real coaching technique. You try the best you can not to show if your athlete didn't get it. Sometimes it's hard not to, but you see it comes down, sinks down into the chest, and that is going to be a no lift. He also doesn't lock out evenly at the top. So just rough all the way around, needs to make those changes, come back and get that.
Martin Perez coming through for Mexico. Just having a word with Simon Bergner actually after that previous round. Paul Tesoriero's coach, I thought his visual reaction suggested he thought that the last lift certainly didn't get, and actually Simon thought they did, but decided against putting an appeal in, a lift challenge. And Paul Tesoriero's family were here as well actually, which is always brilliant to see. Seeing a lot more of that these days. It's very, very welcome. Martin Perez then for Mexico, going for 171.
1 minute.
So this would lift him into the lead. Stadler has missed at 171. We're going to see an attempt on this again in a moment. Oh, he's got it. 2-1 in his favour. That is a brilliant result for him. Oh, he's still pumped up by that as well. That's a very good result for him. Centre referee voted him down, but no issues for him. Wow, that is a nice bonus for him. Yes, 171. And in terms of the total lift, he is doing very, very well indeed.
And you can see on the left side where the bar dips down, that's why he got the 1 red, but he got the 2 whites and he moves on. Nice job.
So being partnered by Jean-André Echeverria, it is Jonathan Astudillo, 4th in the Americas Championship, to 19th at the last Worlds. Well, he's on course for above that, certainly. There are 10 competing in Group A, so if you win Group B, if you like, there aren't medals for it. At least, well, you may have a top 10 finish, and that would be a serious result. 19th at the last World Championships. He could feasibly get that down to single figures. Needs to get this, needs to get the next one, And then there's potentially the bonus of the total lift as well.
1 minute.
$171. That was a bit of a struggle on the way up, I have to say, for Astudillo. He gets it though, 2-1. He's done well with that. The right side referee voted him down on that press, but he pushed, and he just about made it. And that's the kind of sort of one that was similar to Paul Tesariero's last one that the Australian team thought they might have got. Different set of referees, different set of circumstances. Don't worry about that.
Straight up. And you can see actually on his right side, he lags behind the left. The left touches first. That's probably why he got the red light. However, he got 2 whites and he moves on. Nice job. Great determination to get that straight up.
Agambayev for 162. So he's missed the 161, which was a leap and a half. Left 11 with that. So in terms of the total lift, he's again out of the equation. Agambayev 162 for Kyrgyzstan. Again, he's fought well on that. Got it pushed through, and that is a good lift. Take a bow. It is well deserved. 162. So that could be a good high finish for him in the end. He's ranked 5th right now, and obviously everybody else has got a heavier attempt coming. But he has done what he can do, and adding a kilo on means he's not off track much.
Absolutely perfect. Straight down, locks out evenly, drives straight back up. Really nice attempt. Really nice.
The tremendously experienced Julien Avon Mboume, former European junior champion in 2013. Tried football for a bit. His coaches, going back a few years, were Messier and Kuru. I'm not sure actually if they're still involved, but they did well. He did well by them. That European bronze medal in 2018. So we didn't see him in Tbilisi. He's had top 5 finishes in each of his European championships. So he's shown his consistency over the years. He's trying to do that again here. So if he gets it, he leads in terms of the total lift by a nice amount. But the press sequence has gone against him. So we don't need to mention that. Julien Avon Mboume. This is out 163.
Quite evident. Here he goes. He almost stops, and then he doesn't lock out evenly. The left side just struggles, and the struggle was too much to overcome. Lock out evenly. Nice try.
So the return then of Sanesha Papunji Kidagauda of India. He's had 2 misses at 162 and going now for 163. So at least he'll feel like it's not been a complete loss having 2 misses if he gets this 163, and they will certainly hope that he does. It's been really impressive, the strides that they've made in this sport. So this is it.
1 minute.
Last chance saloon for Sendesha, 163. Well, the crowd like it, and with good reason. So Shanda, he's got it. Oh, he's got it. How well he's done there. He'd have liked to have done it in the first round, but he gets his mark in his first championship. And his coach, Jitendra Pal Singh, has been watching backstage for that one. But Sendesha Bapunji Kidagowda gets the mark in at 163.
Great job. Nice stop on the chest. Just drives it up, locks it out. Really nicely done. Really nicely done. And he's pleased.
Thank you. The bar is loaded. Representing Mexico, Porfirio Arredondo Luna.
Arredondo, the great, returns primed and ready to take a big lead in the total lift. And he's in the Legends category. This to take the lead in the Legends category with only one to come in the next group. What a campaigner. His 15th Global Championship. The one-time world champion, the one-time Pan Am champion, and up until recently the Americas champion, and up until even more recently in with a great chance of leading in the total lift. Oh well, 166, he misses out. He is currently in second place in the Legends competition. He's not guaranteed a medal, not quite yet.
That was just super fast on his chest. He just didn't take enough time to stop. And with that, his rise off the chest then was going to be uneven. Really fast, the whole body's moving, and he locks out unevenly. Left side first, then right. Nice try. He needed to slow down a little bit.
Thomas Sadler coming for Hungary. So he missed 171, so suddenly we're in a situation where there's only 3 who could get all their lifts in this group. So those who did it in Group C are still in with a massive chance of medals. And what a career changer it can be for so many who could come away from a World Championships with a medal. Even if it's in the total lift, even if it's in the Legends. Still a medal from the World Championships.
Each facet of this is so important, and so we watch Coach Peter making sure his legs are completely together to strap. If these straps aren't where they need to be, it just throws the lifter off.
171, Stadler with it, and up it goes, and look to lock off. I think Peter Farrago's a bit happier with that one. I'm afraid 2 of the 3 referees weren't. Maybe that was more in hope than expectation. Misses out 2 and in the press sequence. That was an improved lift from this angle. Doesn't mean it was perfect though, and well, 2 and against.
When you look at his chest, the bar sank in. Once the bar sinks in order to get it up, you must heave to get it off your chest, and that's going to be press sequence. So had he held it tighter and straighter on the chest, he would have been able to drive it, but you see the bar sinks in, and now he has to heave to get it off, and that's going to be red lights right there. Nice try.
So Bayram Saparov of Turkmenistan. Now he is the latest who can take a whopping lead in the total lift if he can. 160, 165, this for 172, and this for the lead in the World Championship, this for the lead in the total lift. And what's more, Hideki Odo, who's also in the Legends category, is also looking for 172, so if they both get it, Saparov will be leading. And there's only one to go in the Legends competition. This is where he is in terms of the race to Hangzhou. It's just about in, should be okay. Brian Gustin we're seeing a little later as well. Actually, there's quite a few above him who we're seeing later on in Group A. So, Saparov, 172. Again, he's punched through well, and Bayram Saparov, oh dear, press sequence, all three against. He doesn't get it. Well, my word, there's only two now who can get all their lifts in. Saparov would have had a very significant advantage over the rest. And it will mean that going into Group A, that somebody from Group C will be in the total medals for the moment.
And when you look at this, he just hits the left side before the right. So nice on the chest, drives up, left hits before the right, uneven extension, no lift, unfortunately.
The return of Hideki Odo. And all of the magnificent experience that comes within. So the man from Nagoya. His best result at a World Championship was 6th in 2010. He was also 6th at the Paralympic Games in London. And as usual, he'll take his time in getting the lift in. There's still a minute to go.
1 minute.
And he's still got a minute to go. Judging from the two previous lifts, he's going to use as many seconds of it as he possibly can. So he's in the Legends competition, so if he gets this, 172, he's in the lead on that. It'll be Saparov 165, Arredondo 162. He missed out in the second lift, so he's been wiped out in terms of the total lift. So Perez and Astudillo for Chile are the ones who could succeed in getting all three lifts in. If not, well, then it opens the door incredibly for Group C, and a lot from Group C, to maybe get medals in the overall total lift. He's a really good counter, I'll tell you. 3 seconds to go. Here's the lift. Well, I think his coach, Iguchi Seo, has got a lot more satisfaction with that, and with good reason. It is a good lift. All three white lights.
That was
Odo
absolutely
succeeds,
fantastic. He
and Odo leads.
touches the chest, just drives straight up. On the left side, he started to stutter. He kept moving and just drives straight up and locks out. That was fantastic. Really great fight.
176. Rack 16.
Hideki Odo going out in front on 172. And this time, He had to fight that one, but he made it work very, very well. And they knew it. They knew it was significantly better than last time. So Martin Perez coming out 176. Similar story. And we hate to be repetitive, but we have to be, because so many have been missing their third lift. Nobody yet in this Group B who've got their first 2 lifts in successfully have been able to follow through. And if he gets this, the lead, frankly, in the total lift will be absolutely humongous. He would be into the 500s. He would be almost 100 clear of the current total lift leader from Uganda, Safalo Tamale. Now, you know, in the old days, we wouldn't have a reason to mention Tamale's name again, but we do now. The beauty and the benefit of the total lift. So it's Martin Perez, 176. I do note a few of the upcoming competitors are still having a good view. This is Perez. He's got time. And this to complete. Make it 3 lifts out of 3. 176 for Perez. This is really topping what he's achieved before in competition. He's got the press complete. Martin Perez. We'll go to flags. Three red flags. My word. And he seems to have taken it well, so he has a feeling that he felt himself that it wasn't going the way that he wanted. He's achieved in terms of heavy lifts.
So he's tight on his chest, he goes up, he does not lock out evenly. Now you saw he was doing some internal rotation with his right side just before he lifted. He did it 3 times. I will bet you he focused on trying to get that up because he's got a minor injury there and he just locked out before the left. That's unfortunate.
Thank you. The bar is loaded. 177 kilos, rack 13, third round attempt. Representing Chile,
So
Jonathan Astudillo Rosas.
Jonathan Astudillo is the last to go in this round. This is for 177, and it is very much as we were relaying earlier. He's the only one who could get all his lifts in, which is extraordinary, seeing how everybody had been doing so well prior to that. I'll also tell you, by the way, there's just a clock issue in the arena. Means they're still set at 0, but I'm sure they'll be doing manual timing, so we'll be okay. That shouldn't cause a technical issue. Astudillo ready to go, 177. And again, this would put him into the 500s in terms of the total lift. America's 4th placer.
One minute.
He's got 45 seconds to go on the manual clock. Yeah, you can now see it there. He's not going to do it. So every single person who got the first 2 lifts in subsequently missed the 3rd. That's interesting. They've gone with the flags. That's to do with the clock issue. That was the last lift of the group, by the way, so it's not anything which will cause any headaches.
Group A is approximately 15.
Just nice on the chest and then just runs out of gas halfway through. He did come down pretty fast, and I think once he got to his chest, even though he held it motionless, he just was tight to, and it was just hard to get it up, straight up there like that. Nice try, though.
So at the end of Group B, we had so many misses there. As I say, the scoring system is currently down, so I will just quickly, it's just as well I write all the scores down, to be honest with you. There's method in the madness. Hideki Odo is our leader for Japan on 172. That was with his last lift. Next on 171, Astudillo for Chile and Perez of Mexico. And all the other attempts in the 170s, unfortunately, did not work out. So in terms of the total lift, it is Sefalo Tamalo who leads for Uganda, 425. Nigo in second on 416. And it is Alba Eba who is third on 406. And we will be back in the next quarter hour or so with Group A. So there it is, Odo in front, 172, Perez and Astudillo. Next up, 171, Saparov, 165. You have to go way down, in fact, off that screen for our total lift leader, who is Sefalo Tamale, 425. We'll be back with Group A very soon.